Hypnotherapy, uh, my experience, it happened only for a few minutes, but it helped me to go to a certain point of time for a moment in which triggered certain, which I then learned that it triggered certain emotions that I felt on that day when I had the hypnotherapy, or leading to that hypnotherapy session. So during the process, it felt like I went through the same moment again, but with the help of Astuti at the time, who was with me during the process. It I kind of being getting support to digest what happened and see a different side of it, so I can respond to what happened differently than afterwards. And I learned a couple of new things about myself, about how I responded to different things, how the way I did before the session, and pretty much learning about the triggers and how I come to that point. Really, um, I feel that it brings value in my life in subtle ways, in different ways. For me, the first realization that I kind of sort of, that is a very different way of responding to a situation for myself, to something I fear particularly, is probably a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks after the session. I didn't even realize it at first. It's just that after what happened, then I start to reflect. So what happened was that I'm afraid of diving. Basically, going to open water sea is quite daunting for me. But I like snorkeling. So usually, when I see a drop on the sea, suddenly like being very deep, I just avoid that area, or just move away from it as quickly as I usually did. But on that very day, I went to 2, 3 snorkeling trips, and then at the end of the day, after the third trip, I realized that I actually went to see a few drops, and I did not freak out. So it was after that I realized, hey, that was just a different way of responding things coming from me, and that very moment I just I surprised myself actually. Um, I've known Astuti for a while before the hypnotherapy as well, so I kind of know what kind of person or sort of friendships that we have. But being a process of hypnotherapy with her, it is easy for me to trust her, but not because that I know her before, but it is something that is very new to me. So talking through to her about the process is very easy, and she helped me to understand. And she also helped me. She also tried to understand my fears and my reservations about the process. So I find it really easy to discuss with her, and then just to be honest on the process, particularly on my fears. And then I find it that it's very helpful that those two things help me go through the each steps. Yeah. Um, Working with Astuti, particularly on hypnotherapy, probably, and sometimes you just don't know where to start, because that happened to me also at the beginning. Before we decided to go for hypnotherapy, we Astuti and I tried to discuss about the pain points that I um, feel, but it's hard for me to actually put a point on where. There are several things that probably linked one another. So I would say, just start from whichever that you think that you feel is more important, or um, painful, I would say first, because that will link to other things. So first, I think just go for it. I mean, whichever point you choose, that will be a good point to choose, and then just go from there. I've been working with her for some time now, and yeah, I would actually recommend working with Astuti. Um, if you're not sure, just shoot a question. I'm sure she would help. I guess for the ones who would want to try hypnotherapy, or even if you don't go for hypnotherapy but would want to have, a coach in general, I think first, yes, please do start somewhere. Don't be afraid to choose the point of where to start, and then just go from there. Be patient with yourself. Just make sure that it's one step at a time. There's nothing that you should be afraid of. Well, I don't mind really. Like I think I could say I'm pleasantly surprised with what happened and with my experience with hypnotherapy, because I started with fear. I did not know much about it, but one step at a time, I get the result that I also did not expect, because I start to respond on things that different from the way I did. So I think it's as a journey.